1-800-449-8686.
Hi, Dad, because I used to be in the Army.
You were in the Army?
Yeah.
For how long?
I was in the Army for 2 years.
Okay, and your name is Jeff?
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. I mean, the troops that are going to Afghanistan are not going to do too good because I have some sources that tell me that their equipment is old. They've got old rations that have expired. They've got the expiration date on the rations is way past the day that's okay to eat it. They're using old rifles from Vietnam.
I mean, I've seen pictures of our soldiers in Afghanistan, and they look like the best.
No, that is something, Mr. Henry, that you have to become familiar with as you become familiar with the war experience, and that's something called file footage. The Department of the Defense puts out file footage that shows like a handful of models that they've hired, generally from a modeling agency either in Miami or New York, who model the latest fashions. But those are not the military fashions that the soldier that right now is using in Afghanistan.
Wait a minute, man. I saw pictures of troops in Afghanistan.
No, I'm trying to tell you, those are not really in Afghanistan. Those are just file footage that they show to the American people to say, yeah, check this out. Look at how good the uniforms are.
You're claiming to me on this show that our soldiers right now in Vietnam are using old rifles, old bullets.
Yes, sir. The bullets that they have are the wrong caliber. Some of them don't fit into the guns that they have, so they're looking around. Generally, I'll tell you what happens is they find these old guns, and then they have a box of bullets, and before they land in the airplane, they'll go, okay, here's the box of bullets. See if there's bullets that fit.
Oh, bull crap, man.
I swear it, man. We have got, on account of Clinton, the least equipped army in the world. They shot the file footage of Afghanistan, a lot of that file footage, because I was listening to your program yesterday, because I do enjoy listening to you very much. And,
thank you.
But you're welcome. But, I mean, they shot a lot of that file footage, because you was mentioning how Afghanistan looks a lot like Palm Springs. They did shoot a lot of that in the Joshua Tree and 29 Palms area. And
oh, bullcrap, man. That stuff is in Afghanistan.
No, okay, wait a second.
Bullcrap, man. Those pictures are from...
Hey, wait a second. First of all, I've been in the Army, man, okay? You haven't, okay? That's number one. Number two, where do you think the Marines trained for the Desert Storm?
They trained in 29 Palms.
Yeah, okay, man.
But that doesn't mean that that's where the pictures are from.
Mr. Henry, I spent 2 years in the United States Army, and I'm going to tell you right now, the uniforms we had, the knees were worn out on them, the boots had holes in them, the helmets had bullet holes through them, the helmets that they had us wear. I mean, the food was bad, and during the Gulf War, because I had two buddies who were in the Gulf War, they said the British and the French saved our asses. And at
the who?
The British and the French Foreign Legion, those guys have up-to-date stuff, thank God, because the British and the French, we would have gotten waxed.
No, man.
We would have gotten waxed, and that's what I'm trying to say, because I was in the Army. The uniforms that we had aren't even good camouflage colors, that they ran out after the Gulf, so they're wearing like Wrangler or Nike colored jerseys and stuff. So that's all I'm trying to say, man.
What do you mean they're wearing Wrangler or Nike?
A lot of the uniforms are worn out to the point where they got to wear just regular Wrangler jeans and stuff. Some of them, not all of them.
So we've got troops over in Afghanistan right now wearing Wrangler jeans.
Some of them have to wear jeans, yeah.
Because they ran out of regular pants.
Yes, sir.
And they're not wearing Army boots, they're wearing Nikes?
So I saw one guy running around after the invasion of Panama, in Panama. This is after the airborne came in. The guy's running around in a Van Halen T-shirt. That's a United States of America of the Army soldier. I mean...
Well, I can't believe that the finest military on earth right now in Afghanistan has soldiers with holes in their shoes and bullet holes in their helmets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now our troops are in a sandbox. How long do you think the British and French are going to keep bailing our asses out? Well, look what happened to us in Vietnam.
Where are you hearing all of this crap, okay?
First of all, I was in the Army.
No, but where are you hearing all this crap about Afghanistan?
It's not crap.
Where are you hearing it?
I got a friend of mine who just come back from Paris, and that's where he heard it from some people. They're talking about it all over Paris right now, that the helmets have got bullet holes in them, and the walkie-talkies they've got were Radio Shack. They've got some Mr. Microphone issue. It is bad, man. It is very, very bad. And the helicopters that we're using...
Okay, what about that? I have seen, and you're saying it's file footage, but I have seen...
That's exactly what it is.
No, I've seen pictures of Hueys and Blackhawks, big-ass attack helicopters.
No, the helicopters that we've got over there are about as good as those ones that those traffic chicks are flying around in. That's how good...
Bullcrap.
No, I swear to God, that's how good it is. And we are going to get waxed. Thank God Canada sent a couple thousand troops because they are up to date in Canada. They are badass. They are...
Canada.
Hey, check it out, man. Their beer is 7%.
Look it, man.
Their beer is 7%. Check it out. Their beer is 7% in Canada, man.
And we got to get bailed out by the Canadians.
Their beer's 7%, man. They don't have no 7% beer on account of for no reason. We're down here drinking Pussy 3.54. They got beer going 5, 6, 7, 8%, man, according to a friend of mine that just come back. He was up with his girlfriend in Winnipeg because they went up and they did some skiing.
All right. Well, your name is Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's depressing. This guy claims he was in the Army, and we've got soldiers, our equipment. The guys have got guns that are old Vietnam issue, and they don't even have the right bullets to fit in their rifles. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show. He also said, hey, buddy. Hey, kid.
Yeah.
You said that the British and the French bailed us out.
In the Gulf War, yeah. Everybody knows that knows anything. If it had, hey, think about it, man. The French had over in the Gulf area something that's the baddest ass group of fighting men that have been ever seen, and that's a little something called the French Foreign Legion, man. I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about.
The French Foreign Legion, I don't know anything about, man. That's some kind of a cartoon.
No, the French Foreign Legion, the baddest ass dudes that I have never seen. I'll tell you right now, man, we need to get the hell out before Bin Laden gets really pissed, because I'm afraid there's going to be nothing but... I don't even want to say it, man.
Bunch of broken down
stuff, man. The Canadians, man, are drinking 7%.
I know, beer. What different? That doesn't mean they got great stuff.
It means that they're hardcore. How could you drink 7% beer as a matter of course at a ball game and not be hardcore? That's the only point I'm trying to make. We're down with pussy-ass 4.5.
Okay, man, forget about the beer and the percentage. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show. Carl, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Yes, hi, evening, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say to Jeff, I think that you are totally ridiculous. I was in the Gulf War. We had excellent equipment. We didn't have holes in anything. Everything was fine.
You did, but you probably
everything was fine.
You were an elite unit.
I've never heard anybody else say that we had bad equipment in any war.
Did you have sleeping bags?
Yes.
Because I had two buddies come back from the Gulf said that they slept under they had sheets.
What?
Yeah, they were sleeping just underneath like a sheet, like a rain tarp. Hello?
That's called a pup tent, Jeff.
No, man, a pup tent.
That's called a pup tent.
Hey, dude.
Do you know what a pup tent is?
Yeah, man, I spring it when I see Britney Spears.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha.
Will you answer the guy's question?
Hey, man. All I know is a friend of mine said that they had sleeping bags that were like those Mickey Mouse ones that people sent over from the States. Do you remember when everybody was sending stuff from the States?
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay. A couple of the guys were sleeping in those Mickey Mouse bags, which you can buy down at Jekyll's Toys at a 5% discount.
None of the guys that I was with slept in that. And I'd like to ask you this. Were you in the Gulf War?
No, I was not. Okay.
I was there.
Well, maybe
I think I would know. I think I would know better than you. You're going by hearsay.
Well, but wait a second. You were probably in the Green Beret or something. The Green Berets get good stuff. Was you in the Green Beret?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't, and I still had good stuff.
Don't they let black guys in the Green Beret?
Oh, will you forget about that?
Yes, they do.
He said that he wasn't.
I didn't want to be in the Green Beret.
Well, then
I didn't want to be in the Green Beret, Jeff.
You must have been in an elite unit because the regular grunts were sleeping in Mickey Mouse bags and they had holes in their head in the helmet.
Well, Jeff, do you believe it? Do you believe everything somebody tells you?
Well, a friend of mine said.
Because if you do, I got some land to sell you.
Well, this is what a friend of mine heard. He was in Paris last week.
Uh-huh.
He heard all about it.
Hey,
man, just because a guy was in Paris.
Jeff, I heard that you were a chump. Do you believe that?
Hey, dude, I'm not dissing you, man. Why you do that with me?
I'm not dissing you. I'm just trying to get you to understand that you can't believe everything you hear.
What about the guy told me?
I'm telling you firsthand that I was over there. And we didn't have any problems with the equipment.
Then you didn't see anybody driving like VW Bugs tossing hand grenades.
VW Bugs tossing hand grenades?
Yes, sir. That's what they were using for tanks.
Okay, so you're trapped. So now you want to resort to comedy.
Hey, listen, man. I'm telling you what a guy said to me who had talked to 3 people who'd been over in the Gulf on vacation.
Okay.
All right, so...
that doesn't mean he talked to anybody in the military. He's talking to 3 people who've been over in the Gulf on vacation.
Look, I was in the United States Army, 1995, 1998. Okay?
Did you see any action?
It doesn't make any difference, man. The stuff we had, the bullets didn't fit. They gave me 2 left boots one time, and the guy said, go ahead and wear it because we're fresh out of right ones.
You know what, Jeff?
What?
Jeff, you know what you are?
What?
You're a chump to the 25th power.
Hey, man, check this out, man. The Canadians drink 7% beer, brah. So, yeah, okay, man, forget it. I'm sorry I even brought it up.
Okay,
all right,
okay, I figured we will forget it.
Carl, thank you. What do you mean about the Canadians drinking 7% beer?
I'm telling you right now, Canadians drink 7% beer. They're way more hardcore. I mean, I'll tell you right now, our guys are over in Afghanistan right now checking for landmines using umbrellas, man. Using umbrellas, man. Somebody's got to talk about it.
And you're just the guy, huh?
Well, I haven't heard nobody on your show doing it lately.
1-800-449-8686. This guy claims he was in the Army for 2 years, and the equipment, there was holes in the helmet, holes in his shoe. They ran out of pants, so he had to wear Wrangler jeans and a Sabbath T-shirt. And that our guys are over in the Gulf right now sticking umbrellas in the ground looking for landmines. And now let's not forget, they were driving Volkswagen Bugs, throwing hand grenades out the window, using them as tanks. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
On account of why I got out of the military, man, I got to look at the emergency supply room as a freaking joke. I mean, they had ladies' sweaters in there. They had bricks, like rocks and stuff. In the
talking about the supply room at the depot you were where you were stationed?
Yeah. That's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about.
Okay, this is Jeff. He's a former Army. He was in the Army. He claims that our guys are over in Afghanistan with substandard equipment, including shotguns, squirrel guns, and bows and arrows.
Yes.
Bull crap.
Man, you weren't in the Army, man. I was.
Well, I ain't buying bows and arrows, so forget it. It'll never happen.
Okay, man. Okay, fine. When the guys start coming back, you know, on the hospital ship, you'll remember that I called.
Bows and arrows.
Okay, not a lot of them. I didn't see a lot, but I did see one guy walking patrol with a bow and arrow.
Walking patrol with a bow and arrow.
If you were lucky, you'd get the arrows that could light on fire because they could light the ends of them on fire.
In the Army?
Yes, sir.
The United States Army?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Rochelle?
Yes.
Yes, Rochelle, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Hi, Phil. I
Yes.
want to talk to Jeff personally. I think he's been smoking some type of drug. That's why he's only in the Army
let me
for
ask,
years.
what unit were you in?
I was in the 101st.
Okay, you got hooked up.
I got hooked up.
Your unit got
Everybody
hooked up?
in the military got hooked up.
No, not our unit.
You didn't have a unit. What
Hey.
unit were you in?
I was in the United States Army.
Okay, I'm sure we
8th Air Cav.
8th Air Cav.
Yeah.
There is no such
Oh,
unit.
bull crap, man. There wasn't a Vietnam movie I saw one. I mean, no.
Yeah, in a
When I went-
Vietnam movie. Yeah, you said
in a
it right.
Vietnam movie that you saw one time.
No,
Exactly, because
no.
there is no such thing as the 8th Cav.
No. Okay,
I
what
was in the
cavalry?
military for 14 and a half years.
What cavalry
I've
is
never
there?
heard of the 8th Cav.
8th Air
You
Cavalry.
are so full of it, and I
You never
can't
heard
believe
of the Air
Phil is wasting his time
No.
having you on his radio
I was in the
station.
102nd Air Cavalry.
Oh, now you jump to the 102nd.
No, I'm trying to
Try the
remember.
101st.
I went
Try
out.
the 101st.
Okay,
You
I
was
went
your
out on
boss.
a Section 8. I went out on a Section 8. I'll admit that much to you now.
I'm sure you did went out on
Okay.
Section 8.
Okay.
Phil, do you know what a Section 8 is? Let me explain it to you.
He was out of his
went
mind.
out for drugs.
Yeah, you flipped your lip.
Yes, I'm admitting that. I'm admitting that now. I'm not going to hold anything back or lie. Okay, I did go out on a drug. They Section 8. The doctor said that I had a bipolar disorder.
Yeah, you still do.
Okay, so what is it
You
with
didn't have, you still do.
How do you
because
figure
if you
that?
talk about we had rocks and slingshots and bows and arrows, we had weapons. We had the weapons that we needed to perform the
I
duty.
was on base
You never
one
made
day.
it
They
there
brought
because you were on
supplies in
bipolar and
a
you still
Buick
are.
LeSabre. They
Yeah,
brought
right.
supplies in a Buick LeSabre.
I understand. You're still bipolar, right, Jeff?
Okay.
Must be.
Okay,
You
let me
must
ask something. Okay, let me ask something. Isn't it
Go ahead,
possible?
feel free to ask.
Isn't it possible that your
You know
unit
what
got
to do.
hooked up and my unit got crap?
You didn't have a unit. There's no such thing as
Then why did I
unit.
see a guy dressed and sleeping in a Mickey Mouse sleeping bag?
What is this? Is this a movie you saw on TV?
No, man, I seen it. I seen it.
You know what?
Where'd you see it at?
All you're doing is
I saw it at Fort Benning, Georgia.
I was at Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay.
Where did you see it at?
You got hooked up though. I didn't.
Oh.
You know something?
Okay, so you was in one of those made-up units that you made up in your
Hey, I'll
pretty
tell
little
you
head.
something right. Hey, ma'am. You'd do drugs too if they pushed you out of a plane with a parachute made out of a Transformer's bed sheet.
You know
And I
what?
hope-
There's
yeah,
no
and I
such
hope-
thing.
I
Phil,
hope
you
that
are wasting your time having him on your air. I was
that
in
you
an
sleep
airborne
well.
unit, and they did push me out of a plane,
In a
but
bed
I had a
sheet.
parachute.
Not a Transformer's bed sheet.
No.
Okay, you got hooked up.
look
You know
at
what?
man.
There's nobody that's ever been in a plane that got pushed out with a Transformer bed sheet. I mean, that's against the law. So,
Okay,
Jeff, you know
yeah,
what?
it's
You need to
against the
go
law.
take your medication. Are you on
Yes,
Prozac?
What's that,
Are you
ma'am?
on Prozac or Zoloft?
I don't know. No, I'm on Limbitrol.
Oh, well, you know what? You need to go take your dose because you got problems.
Hey, how
Phil,
come you
it's
know so
wonderful
much
talking
about
to
it?
you,
How come
and
you-
I really enjoy
hey,
your show,
how
but you
come-
really need to take this movie
man,
off your show.
How come you
'cause
know
you're
about
wasting your airtime?
How come you know about bipolar drugs?
Because I'm a
Yeah.
military police person, and we deal with people like you. We had you in the mental ward.
Okay, man. When they start showing
Okay,
pictures
Phil, I
of
think you
Americans
really need to cut
throwing
off-
hand
put
grenades
somebody
out
on
of
that
Buick
work I'll
LeSabres,
listen to.
you'll be very sorry on account of they've been throwing hand grenades out of Buick LeSabres.
This is out of your brain,
Okay,
right?
look at Jeff. It does sound. If you admit you went out on a Section 8, it sounds like.
That he's still bipolar.
Okay, let me ask you this. How come Canadians drink 7% beer? Because they're hardcore.
You know, I don't know where he heard that from.
Oh,
but
man,
he's
come
really-
on, man.
he's
Everybody
really stuck
knows.
on the Canadian drinking 7% beer. Yes, I've heard of them having Canadians having 7% beer in
Doesn't that
in
make them...
Canadian. But what is so important about that? It has to do with the military. Phil, please.
It shows that they're
I
hardcore.
really enjoy your show,
It
but
shows
he's wasting
that-
your airtime.
They're hardcore.
Phil Hendry Show.
Hardcore.
Phil Hendry, 1-800-449-8686.
And the voice of Jeff Dowder was performed by me, and the people that called in, they thought he was a real guy. They talked to him about all the crap can equipment our guys have. Actually, some of the stuff those guys have over there, I don't quite know how they can walk around with all that gear. It looks like there's 86 tons of gear on them. They got night scopes. They got day scopes. They got scope. They got a butt scope. They got Levoris. They got their backpacks. They got their, everything, man. There is more stuff in these guys. Space age. Well, here it is right here. How Marines are outfitted. Standard issue desert camouflage uniform. Kevlar helmet with goggles. Faces daubed with camouflage cream. Canteens, gas mask, sheath knives, and black leather gloves tucked into belt. M16 rifle. Extra ammo magazines carried in pouches, 3 on each side. Blood type written on sleeves. 70-pound green camouflage rucksacks with sleeping bags. Wow. Friggin' suit of armor these guys are wearing. They got more crap on, and it's a beautiful thing what's going on over there right now from this standpoint. You remember how the Afghan Taliban guys were saying, come on down, fight us on the ground, you'll see what happens? And what's happening now is that we're sort of outmaneuvering them. We're up in the mountains, and they're the guys that are convoying trucks through the roadway, and they're the cats that are getting blown up. Man, that Vietnam taught us a whole slew of things. So the Russians had to go through all over again themselves in Afghanistan, like in the 80s. We got that all figured out in Vietnam, man. Don't send a whole bunch of guys down there. When we did that poll, when this whole thing started coming down on September the 11th, we did that poll about, well, how do you want to deal with this? Do you want a big, massive invasion? Everybody's with the, 90% of the vote. Send in 50,000 guys. Wipe them out. Forget it. This is beautiful the way we're doing it now. Sending them in, setting up a little base. They don't know where the hell we are. They don't know whether we're coming or going. Late at night, we send our guys out up in the mountains, man. They see a patrol. They see some trucks. They blow them up. They go back. They have a Pop-Tart. They watch the ball game. They go to bed. Now, that's how to fight a war. No, but seriously. And now, just like we told you earlier, they think they know where the Sheikh Omar is. How'd you like to be those guys right now? I mean, how many green bricks a day are those guys crapping? Where they are and what they're doing. The high life of living as the leader of a country is over for that guy. Maybe he had a hot tub. I don't know. Maybe he had a private cook, a pool, a yard, a car. Now the guy's going from hole in the ground to hole in the ground. He's moving from cave to cave. Well, Sheikh, how do you like it? How do I like what? This is a cave. Well, it's the best we could do. A little tidied up, man. They can hang maybe a quilt on the wall, some pictures. You got any photographs? Get out of here with the photographs. I gotta have them framed over. Never mind. I used to have a house, man. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, they blew it up. You want to live in a cave? Well, sure, but with a little work, we can make it just like home. Uh-huh. So anyway, they hit that, and who knows if they killed him. Can they send the Marines in there and pick through the rubble and see if they find maybe a body part, a head, a face, something? From today's news, the car model stolen most often, the Acura Integra.